I like beans, except the ones that grow 1,000,000 feet tall and cause destruction upon mankind. But other than that, I have no beef with beans. Jack the Giant Slayer, a sort of adaptation of a children's book titled Jack and the Beanstalk, which is why the theater was packed with kids. Stop yelling! And I say sort of adaptation because the only thing this movie shares with the tale are beans and the main character. So the Giant Slayer takes place in a beautiful kingdom full of beautiful people. Seriously, not one human was ugly in this movie. It has a talented cast with Nicholas Hoult as the leading man, Jack, and has many other big names in Hollywood like Ewan McGregor and Stanley Tucci. And then there's an insanely attractive princess played by Eleanor Tomlinson. How you doing? Most of the performances were good except for a few that were too cartoony. But my favorite of them all was Ewan McGregor, who brought such an original delivery to all of his lines.
Am I dead?
Not just yet. Not just yet. Not just yet.
I'm really amused by that line. I'm probably going to download it on my iPhone and play it over and over and over and over and over again. So normally in movies with beautiful people, the plot falls short because the film mainly focuses on their looks. This is not the case in Jack the Giant Slayer. No, sir, 'tis not. Director Bryan Singer makes this a breathtaking adventure for both kids and adults. Bryan Singer has done some really talented works before, like X-Men 1 and 2 and my personal favorite of his, The Usual Suspects. Yeah, there's a phrase that comes from that movie. You've just been Kaiser Soze! But that's another tale. For those of you who've seen The Usual Suspects, you catch my drift. Or do you? The effects were great, as was the story. How many big budget movies can you say that the story was just as good as the visuals? And the visuals weren't like, my eyes! They were more like, pretty. And the giants were all ugly and disgusting, which kind of made me want to throw up a bit. This film also has a sense of humor. So I'm glad to report that Jack and the Giant Slayer is another good film in the filmography of Mr. Singer. A small synopsis of the movie is that some beans have been stolen and they end up in Jack's hands, and then they grow and bring the princess up to the giant kingdom, and then Jack and a few other men have to rescue the princess while vanquishing evil. If someone told me that, my reaction would be all, You get out of here! I did have some problems with the movie. You wanna tussle? In the beginning, the movie had a bit of an identity crisis. I felt it was trying to be a cartoony movie for kids, but also dark for adults. It didn't work in the beginning because I was like, make up your mind! But the Giant Slayer makes up its mind in the end and the problems are solved. Just floated away. One more thing I liked about it was that it gave me the impression that every legend can be told differently and no story is the same. That's just epcosal. That's a mixture of epic and colossal for those of you who don't know. It did have a feel that kind of resembled The Lord of the Rings. And before all you fanboys are like, how dare you compare Lord of the Rings to Jack the Giant Slayer? Relax, I'm just saying that I could see some similarities. I mean, during the battle it had a feeling of epicness that just sort of felt like... And most importantly, this guy reminded me of The Hobbit has the process. And even though some of the dialogue is a tad cheesy, this is a good start to a new year of movies. I say that Jack the Giant Slayer is money well spent with an 80%. Hey, that kind of rhymed. More movie reviews next week. Like, follow, and subscribe to me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Catch you later.